coming in at number 2 is Ryan Williams from Alabama, who I know everyone's talking about Jeremiah Smith and how amazing he was. And yes, he had the best true freshman year we've ever seen from a wide receiver. But Ryan Williams was outstanding as well in his true freshman year. 865 receiving yards last year. Only Jeremiah Smith had more among true freshman wide receivers in the country. And also, if you look over the last 3 years among true freshman receivers, he was still second only behind Jeremiah Smith as well. So not only is he second last year among true freshmen, he's second among true freshmen over the last 3 years in college football as well, in the entire nation. Ryan Williams also led all true freshman receivers with 170 receiving yards after contact. He only trailed Jeremiah Smith in yards after the catch, in receiving touchdowns, and yards per route run. This guy can fly. Elite speed and elite body control as well. I know everyone will always remember that touchdown catch against Georgia where he made the catch over 2 defenders, spun out of a tackle immediately after, and scored the touchdown for the Crimson Tide. And of course, everyone said this in every broadcast the entire year, but it has to be mentioned again. He was 17 years old his entire freshman year. Not only a part of his freshman year, his entire freshman year. This guy should have been a senior in high school last year. He reclassified. He'll be 18 years old for all of his sophomore year. He'll be 19 years old for all of his junior year. And Dalton, he'll play his entire rookie year in the NFL at 20 years old. So he won't turn 21 until his second year in the NFL.
That's the enticing part, is he's that good, that young. Don't forget the other catch he made when he got behind Malachi Starks and then had to juggle it and find it again too. I mean, look, when you're making plays like that on that big a stage as a 17-year-old kid, you're going to be high on this list. And going back and watching him one more time, I think comps are always difficult, especially so early in a guy's career. But he's a little bit smaller. He reminds me a lot of CeeDee Lamb. I think that's where I'm sticking with CeeDee Lamb here. And then, I had to go and compare the numbers to it. All right, here's Ryan Williams' numbers from last year. 48 catches, 865 yards, 8 touchdowns, 71.7 receiving grade, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's go back to CeeDee Lamb's freshman year at Oklahoma. 46 catches, 813 yards, 7 touchdowns, 75.6 receiving grade. Slightly higher, but really only a couple of plays more so, that raises that up. Very, very, very similar to CeeDee Lamb's freshman year at Oklahoma. I think you're about to see an explosion, especially if Kalen DeBoer getting everybody in year 2 of this offense, and then they can figure out the quarterback situation. We think it's going to be Ty Simpson. We're not entirely sure yet, but either way, whoever's throwing the ball is going to be getting it to Ryan Williams a lot because he is a fantastic talent, and you mentioned it, through all of Alabama's struggles. I think that and all the guys returning on defense, that's the 2 biggest rays of hope for Alabama. We're going to get into a boatload of their defensive guys later on, but Ryan Williams needs to become the centerpiece of this offense, especially for a team that's going to have a new starting quarterback.
And when you watch the tape on Ryan Williams, there are a lot of receptions, receiving yards, even touchdowns left on the table. Left on the table.
Yep.
Jalen Milroe. There were times you could see Ryan Williams last year was getting really frustrated with Jalen Milroe. A lot of them in the Tennessee game, I remember Milroe was just flying them all over the place. Williams was open for some big-time yards and big-time touchdowns for Alabama last year. A lot of them left on the table with Jalen Milroe. We'll see what happens with Ty Simpson next year, who was also a 5-star recruit coming out of high school a few years ago. We'll see what happens next year, but those numbers for Ryan Williams are that good, and they could have been a lot better because Jalen Milroe was leaving a lot of throws on the table. Even he's a very talented quarterback, but yeah, he was missing a lot of those throws to Ryan Williams last year, and I can see he was getting pretty frustrated by it. So he comes in at number 2. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the PFF College Football Show. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
Also, subscribe to PFF Plus at subscribe.pff.com for all of the same data and grades that we use in our show, plus fantasy tools, betting tools, and our mock draft simulator.